You walk in. The lights are bright. The sounds are exciting. Someone across the room just won something, and you can hear it. You feel lucky. That feeling was engineered. Before you placed a single bet, before you even walked through the door, someone had already designed the experience to make you feel exactly that way. The casino industry generates over $71 billion a year in the United States alone. It is one of the most profitable businesses in human history. And it is built on one simple principle: the house always wins. Not sometimes, not usually, always. Today we're going to explain exactly how. The math, the design, the psychology, and the systems that make it nearly impossible to walk out ahead, no matter how lucky you feel when you walk in. Section 1. The scale of the industry. Let's start with the numbers because they tell you everything you need to know about who is actually winning in this industry. U.S. commercial casinos generated $71.9 billion in total gaming revenue in 2024. That's a record, and it keeps growing year after year. Globally, the casino industry is valued at over $305 billion, projected to reach $360 billion by 2030. There are over 1,000 casinos in the United States, over 8,000 worldwide. In a typical regional casino, slot machines alone generate between $300,000 and $800,000 per day. Per day. From a single property. Table games add another $100,000 to $300,000 on top of that. The real foundation of casino profits isn't the rare big loser who drops $100,000 in a night. It's volume. Millions of ordinary people making ordinary bets. Losing small amounts. Repeatedly. Over time. Think about what that looks like in practice. A slot bank generating $100,000 in daily wagers with a 10% hold produces $10,000 in gross gaming revenue per day from one row of machines. Multiply that across thousands of machines, dozens of table games, sports betting terminals, and hotel revenue. And you start to understand why these buildings keep getting bigger. And here's what makes this business model so elegant. The casino doesn't need you to lose big. It doesn't need a single catastrophic loss from any one player. It just needs the math to work over a large enough number of bets. Every session, every day, every year. That math has a name, the house edge, and it is the engine that powers everything inside those walls. Section 2. The house edge. How math makes the casino invincible. Every single game in a casino, without exception, is mathematically designed so that the casino makes money over time, not through cheating, not through manipulation of individual spins or hands, through pure, cold mathematics. The concept is called the house edge. It's the percentage of every bet the casino expects to keep over a large number of plays. And it is built into the rules of every game before you sit down. Here's how it works. Take roulette. An American roulette wheel has 38 slots, numbers 1 through 36 plus a 0 and a double 0. If you bet on a single number, the odds of winning are 1 in 38. A fair payout would be 37 to 1, but the casino pays 35 to 1. That 2-slot gap is the house edge. On American roulette, it works out to 5.26%. That means for every $100 you bet at that table over time, the casino expects to keep $5.26. You keep the rest, on average, across millions of spins. Slot machines are where the math gets truly brutal. House edges on slots range from 2% all the way to 15%, and penny slots are often at the high end of that range. Land-based slots in the U.S. typically have return-to-player rates of around 88%. That means for every dollar you put in, you get 88 cents back over time. The 12 cents that disappear, that's the casino's cut. On every spin, hundreds of spins per hour, thousands of players per day. Even blackjack, the best game for players, carries a house edge of around 0.5% when you use perfect basic strategy. That's the lowest in the casino. But notice, it's still a positive number, still in the casino's favor. There is no game in the casino where the math favors you over time, not one. In the short term, luck exists. You can win. People win big all the time. and the casino makes sure you see and hear every single one of those wins. But the law of large numbers is relentless. The more you play, the more your results converge toward the mathematical expectation. And the mathematical expectation is always negative for the player. Play long enough, and the house edge always collects. Section 3. The building itself is a machine. The math is only part of the system. The casino's real genius is keeping you at the table long enough for that math to do its work. And for that, they built the building itself as a tool. No clocks, no windows. This is one of the most deliberate design decisions in the entire industry. By removing any reference to time, no sunlight, no wall clocks, nothing, casinos create a sensory bubble where hours dissolve without warning. It's easy to think you've been playing for 45 minutes when it's actually been 3 hours. Research from Rutgers University's Center for Gambling Studies confirms that physical design elements like these meaningfully extend average playtime. A player who knows it's 2 a.m. is more likely to call it a night. A player who has no idea it's 2 a.m. keeps playing. Casinos choose the second option, every time. The layout is a maze. Not accidentally. Gaming floors are deliberately confusing. Tables and machines are arranged so that no clear path to the exit exists. When you look for the way out, you walk past more games. The cashier's cage, where you'd convert chips back to cash, is often buried deep in the property. Exit signs are minimal. Every extra minute on the floor is statistically profitable. The layout is designed to maximize those minutes. Chips instead of cash. When you exchange your money for chips, something shifts in your brain. Chips don't feel like real money. They're a different color, a different material. Placing a $100 chip on a table doesn't trigger the same emotional response as handing over a $100 bill. The abstraction of chips reduces loss aversion, and players bet more freely as a result. The sounds of winning. Slot machines are programmed to emit exciting sounds not just when you win, but when you almost win. The near miss, 3 symbols where you needed 4, produces brain activity almost identical to an actual win. It keeps you engaged, convinced the jackpot is close. Just one more spin. This building is not a building. It's a machine for extracting money from humans. And every element of it, the carpet, the lighting, the layout, the sounds, was designed by people who understand behavioral psychology deeply and use it without apology. Section 4. Free drinks and the illusion of generosity. Now let's talk about the most effective marketing strategy the casino industry ever invented. Giving things away. Free drinks, free meals, free hotel rooms, free show tickets. Casino loyalty programs that reward you with points for every dollar you wager. It sounds generous. It is designed to look generous. It is not generous. The free drink is the oldest trick in the playbook. Alcohol impairs judgment. It reduces inhibitions. It makes losing feel less significant and winning feel more exciting. A player who has had 3 free cocktails bets differently than a sober one. They play longer, they increase their bets, they make decisions they wouldn't otherwise make. Those drinks are not free. They are a calculated investment in your continued presence on the floor. The casino has run the math. The additional expected losses generated by a slightly impaired player far outweigh the cost of a vodka soda. The comp system is more sophisticated. Players earn points toward hotel rooms and restaurant credits based on how much they wager, not how much they win or lose, but how much they bet. The more action you put through the casino, the more rewards you accumulate. It feels like the casino is giving back. In reality, casinos allocate roughly 30 to 40% of a player's theoretical losses to comps. A player expected to lose $10,000 over their visit might receive $3,000 to $4,000 in combined perks. The casino still makes $6,000, but the player feels valued. They feel like they got something even while losing. And they return. High rollers get the full treatment. Private jets, penthouse suites, personal hosts available around the clock, gourmet dinners. All of it calculated precisely against the theoretical losses those players will generate. A player who loses $200,000 in a weekend and receives $30,000 in perks hasn't received a gift. They've received a 15% rebate on their losses. This is not generosity. This is a precision-engineered loyalty system designed to maximize the total money extracted from each customer over their lifetime. Nothing is free. It never was. Section 5. The systems that don't work. Most people who walk into a casino believe on some level that they have an edge. A system, a strategy, a feeling. Something that gives them a fighting chance against the house. The casinos love this, because most of those beliefs are mathematically worthless, and some of them actively make things worse. The gambler's fallacy is the most common one. A roulette wheel lands on red 7 times in a row. You feel strongly that black is due, so you bet on black. It feels logical. It feels almost certain. The roulette wheel has no memory. Every spin is independent. The probability of black on the next spin is exactly the same as it was on spin 1, roughly 47.4% on a European wheel. The previous 7 results have zero mathematical influence on what comes next. The house edge hasn't changed. You've just convinced yourself that it has. And that conviction is worth money to the casino. The martingale system, doubling your bet after every loss to eventually recoup everything with one win, sounds logical. Start with $10. Lose, bet $20. Lose, bet $40. Keep going until you win, and you're always up by your original stake. The problem is that it collides with 2 hard walls, table limits and your own bankroll. Lose 6 times in a row, which happens more often than intuition suggests. And your next required bet is $640. 7 losses in a row, and it's $1,280. The math compounds against you faster than almost anyone anticipates before they try it live. There's also the sunk cost fallacy. You've already lost $400. Quitting feels like admitting defeat. So you keep playing. But the house edge is completely indifferent to the $400 you already gave it. Every new bet faces the exact same odds. Staying doesn't change the math. It just exposes more money to it and extends the time the casino has to let the edge do its work. Card counting in blackjack is real, and it works mathematically. But casinos have spent decades building countermeasures, multiple decks shuffled frequently, continuous shuffle machines, surveillance teams specifically trained to identify counting patterns. Players suspected of counting are asked to leave, sometimes banned permanently. The window for this legitimate edge has been systematically and deliberately shut. The system doesn't need to beat you on any single hand. It just needs enough time and enough volume. And it always gets both. None of this means you can't go to a casino and have a good time. Millions of people do every week. But there's a difference between walking in as entertainment, fixed budget, no expectation of profit, clear exit plan, and walking in believing you're about to beat a system built by mathematicians and behavioral scientists with billions of dollars at stake. Here's what knowing all this actually changes. Treat the house edge as a cost. A night at the casino is entertainment, the same way a concert or a dinner is entertainment. Set a budget before you go. When it's gone, you've paid for your experience. Leave. Never chase losses. Every new bet faces the same house edge as the one before it. Chasing just exposes more money to the same unfavorable math. Understand that the environment is working against you. No clocks, no windows, free drinks, confusing layouts. Every element is intentional. Knowing this lets you make deliberate decisions instead of drifting along with the design. And 5th, the next time you see someone win big, hear the bells and the lights, feel the excitement in the room. Remember, that moment was designed. The casino wants you to see it. It's advertising, not evidence. One more thing worth saying. The casino industry funds lobbying efforts in almost every jurisdiction where gambling is legal. It sponsors research into responsible gambling that carefully avoids recommending hard limits on their own products. It designs loyalty programs that reward the people who lose the most money with the most perks, keeping them returning again and again. The system is legal, regulated, and operates with full government approval. Understanding it doesn't make it disappear, but it changes your relationship with it entirely. The house always wins. Not because of cheating, not because of luck, because of math, design, and a level of psychological engineering that most people never stop to think about. Now you have. Subscribe. Because on this channel, we keep breaking these things down, one system at a time.